So this is how, before we don't build these units in our shop before. But these days we see plenty of customers and clients are having problems with their setup. Mostly, most of the time this thing here, it costs a lot. And this is the first one to target or then charge. So this is how we set up, this is called a combiner box. So we'll start from the top. So when you put your solar panel, this is a 340, it's a new in the shop. The current one people were buying was 275, and now we decided to go up higher, so this is a 340 watts panel. So most connection we just do from panel straight to the inverter, and inverter straight to the battery. That's what we do, that's a simple setup. But in that connection, there are going to be a lot of problems you can occur in that connection. So that's why it's better from the panel, you connect, come straight to a combiner box. So I can open this thing and you can see what's in there. This is the combiner box. So in this combiner box, we have a circuit breaker here, and we have a surge. And these breakers here, these are fuses. Fuses in here. So if you connect the panel straight to this here, sometimes the panel current, when the sun gets very hot, the power or the current increases, where it damages this inverter. So if you put a combiner box, so this is a combiner box, you join everything here. We have this is a 8 string, and we have a small one, we have 4. So in here, just you can connect either 3 or even 16 panels or 24 panels in this combiner box. So you join the positives here, negatives, and this one straight down to the inverter. So if the current increase, this thing will control it. The combiner box will control, and it will cut down, and it will supply only whatever the inverter needs. So just controller, combiner box straight down to the inverter here. So this inverter is a hybrid inverter. So it's a 4000 watts inverter, and it's complete with a ATM MPPT controller inbuilt here. So it comes complete. So some systems will see just separate the controller or regulator, and then separate inverter, you connect it direct from the battery. But this thing here, now we put them together, so it's an inverter and a charge controller inbuilt here. So from the inverter, then it straight comes to a breaker again. Or you can put a fuse. If you don't want to put a breaker, you can put a fuse here. So inverter to the battery, you have to fuse it or put a breaker on it also. Because sometimes the current runs anyhow, so we don't. So you have to fuse it. So these are 2 poles, so you connect positive and a negative in these 2 poles. And then straight to your battery. So some connection will do them like this. We join here first, in the inverter, and then we join the batteries. That's why if you put the batteries, these cables on the battery, sometimes you know the spark. So spark is not good for the system. So you put a fuse, so this fuse will be off. Time you join everything. So if you join everything, finish, then you can switch it on, and then switch the inverter on. Then it comes on. So from this inverter, I'll open this thing and use it. is the controller input here. So from the combiner, straight in here. You can see it's a PV positive and PV negative. And this second one here, this is for the battery. The battery, you turn it straight here. And we have a AC input and AC output from here. By output, you join your supply out to the classroom or the houses or the health centers. But for the AC in, if you have a backup, like generator or just a power in place, where during the rainy period, you can just plug a generator here, and then it can boost the batteries again. So from here, that is the AC out. We just put this GPIO only, just a sample. But doesn't like you have to join here and come to the GPIO and go to a switchboard. No. If you have a switchboard in that classroom or health center, forget about this GPIO here. You can just straight connect direct from here to the switchboard, and the switchboard to your PowerPoints and the light. So that's the small demo we put, and this is our fan.
What's power of this? Simple.
So you can also use downlights in this system, or fluoro or LED. That's okay. But make sure when you are doing the connection, you must know calculate your load first, and you decide with the inverter. Either you go for 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4, 5, or even 12,000 kV. So you decide on the system. Sometimes we pick the wrong inverter, and our load is big. That's why we overload the inverter, because we don't calculate our load correctly. That's why. That's why the system got bucket, and you spend another money to. But in this system here, only the battery you can replace in this system. But otherwise, all these things are okay. If you join them correctly, so after 8 or maybe 6 or 10 if you are lucky, then you can replace only the battery. But the rest remains. But it's just the way how you join the system. Then the lifespan of this system here cuts down. So any question?
Sorry. Can we opt for a fused version of this one?
For the breaker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it needs a mechanical aspect load. Suppose spring in or whatever, and but begin.
Trip.
Yeah.
So nanti all mana contractors ini overflow. Si mana fuse the putih di sana ada.
Si fuse apa tu?
Yeah, you can put a fuse.
Dia kan bisa.
So fuse, you'll see, if you buy a inverter, you'll see the manual there. And the manual will tell us what size of fuse you should buy. Don't just put any fuses in one.
Okay.
So if this inverter needs 40 amp, and if you put a 63, then that will tell you like you have to put a 40, so in the car, if the current go bigger, so that fuse will blow, and then you can buy a new fuse and just replace that fuse on.
So people are starting. Suppose people like change it or put the fuse. Asking customer already manual and how systems are blow up.
So any number of panel you can join. Yeah.
You can add in one.
You can add in 10, 12, 16, but this inverter can carry 145 volt. 45 volt. And one of these panel is a 30.1.
Okay.
So if you, I have no paper, yes, sir. So if you have like 3, yeah, example 3 panels. So that's 1, 2, and then 3. So we used to, it has this MC4 connectors here. So we got like we used to, if we put it to series, series, and at the end, in parallel. Then that voltage, if it's 30, but the other one, the 3 of them is still going to be 30.1. But if you join it in parallel, then the voltage will increase.
Okay.
Yeah. So we used to say it's strings, So three strings. So if you have 6, then 3, 3, and then 9, 12. And then if the voltage increase, but it won't reach that 145. So that's where the controller got bucket. These are all small information, but if you want
It's
to learn,
important, really important.
if you learn, if you ask, then you will learn. But if you just do it your way, then that's the result. Great stuff. By 2 or 3 years time, you should recover your expense. And then put aside the money for the battery, so when the time comes, just buy a battery.
Just the way we actually place this.
Sometimes if you put them in the office, so make sure there has to be a window because of ventilation. Because if you lock it, then this fence here will go.
Best output there. What kind of connection should we do for the batteries?
Battery in the systems, yes, we know there's few voltage of systems we use in the battery. So there's 12 volt, 24 and 48. Yeah. So example, this here, this is a 48 volt system. So we got only 4 batteries. So one battery it's a 12 volt. So we have to times that 12 volt. So if we add one more battery, then that's 24. And put another that one, that's 36. But there's no 36 systems in the solar system. So 48. So if we put 4, and then if you want to put another 4, 8, then you join it is same way.
For this system, maximum load, how many panels for this one?
Like I said, if you for this system here, the panels is 12. We put 12. Yeah, but we have a formula that if you calculate your load, then that load, then you multiply with the current system, and then you get how many. You decide to get how many panels, how many batteries, and what size of the inverter. Later, that I didn't bring that one, so later I'll get that one and I'll give it to Joss. Joss can give it to, because you are spending a lot of money in these things here.
Yep.
So you need to know all these bits and pieces.
Sorry, one last question. Blue wires here, what are they for?
This one here,
Yeah.
just for looping this set. So this thing here, we didn't build it here, this thing here. This one is done at the manufacturer's and then just put it direct here. So this blue here, let's say like here, it represents the negative. Yeah. Some wires you see, so most of the electricians you know, like brown, sometimes they put red and then brown. Sometimes it's black, then they put blue.
So with the
So otherwise
just
you might think that this is the whole system. No. It's just only this red thing here.
with the setup of the system, the appliances apart from the lighting they use is they can charge phones with the current capacity, power and power. So apart from the lights, fan,
It's lights,
photocopier, printer,
Laptop, yes, printer.
laptop, yeah,
So it's a KV, 4 KV,
4 kV system.
4 kilowatt system.
Yeah, 4 kilowatts.
So anything below 4. Charging
So if
over.
you calculate the system, it must be below 4,000.
Yeah,
Don't go 4,000 straight.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it might
yeah, yeah.
go over. Let's say 3.5 or 3.6.
I think this is a very powerful presentation. What we need is steel. Steel are the one that's going to supply the material, right? If steel can come up with a design, just to design this, I think probably it's like 800 by 120. So 800 by probably 1 meter 200 or something. Can fit us by this. And then, you know, when we're installing all the houses, this is for us, it's installing there, and then we can just lock it and go. You know what I mean? For security reason.
It should be put on the post in the
You can put it on an enclosure. Enclosure where 800 by 600. 800 by 600 by 300. The enclosure where it is a door.
Yes.
You can
But
do
the
that. We
bottom
can
part
just
is
small
open,
plywood.
so
That's all you can.
Yeah,
walk
you-
in with the
you
box,
get your
blow it
builders
down,
to
yeah,
fabricate
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Other contractors do it also. They do it themselves.
yeah. I'm not.
So also opens the plywood there.
Yeah.
They do the connections and then they install it with the plastic.
But especially I'm talking about a classroom and some other public, you know, it's gonna be, any student can go in there and also some have some that is for the, you know, we're looking at long term. And for houses, okay, no problem.
Let's take connection and for this one is wave.
Sorry?
Let's take connection.
Ah, yeah. Here.
The
From
bottom
here you
part.
can, yeah. You edit from here. And also the panel side. The panel, we supply them with the rails. So it has a head connection here. We can connect your. So there's one big thing there also. So you have to add your panels and then add this thing here. So in case of like this or thunder,
Because not like almost solar energy in a carousel, some sort of fluctuation may happen. They event the mechanical system switching over. Where is the best place to put it? Inside the building or in a separate place outside?
for the
And
system.
where the space?
You mean the system?
Yeah.
You can put it in the building, but like I said, it has to be maybe like 4 or 5 ventilation. So because outside, like this I said, if it's outside, then you have to put it in an enclosure where it's weatherproof. So rain won't. But if it's for inside, you can just set it like this.
Na karma bukan dah now saya betul ya, baik kat. About it. So, lare mo sa bukan. Di mes anta sa location.
Yeah, you can lock that.
System yang aman.
System itself includes the panel. This one is 24,000.
One the panel lah. Two plus.
No.
The whole set I'm talking about. Like in there.
That's the
12 panels.
M 4 kilowatts.
Yeah, 4 kilowatt.
How much the panel?
Price plan?
How much the panel?
12.
12 the panel space. Mas kilo kabel lare.
Sometimes we used to just say like in the long run, if it's 340, like 275 panel lah. If it's more than, we'll put 4 batteries there. So, but you can see in the system where if you use it day and night, the battery will standby flat. But you have to increase the panel. So daytime, it has a supply to use the appliances you use during the day, and it has enough energy to fully charge your battery. So in the night, still the same supply can go. That's why, like I said, I said 4 panels, 12 panels, that's too big. But it's during the day, they will use it, plus it has to charge the battery.
St. George, mobil baterai mas.
Copper battery itself, that's 1,250.
They should exchange it, but
So we have this 150, we have 200 amps, and we have 250.
So the company them come with them lights too.
Number count and lights.
The system? Yeah.
Lights and accessories and all. Tables here over there.
Yeah.
Long. Inside outside.
Everything. All one room.
$32,000 to $34,000 on material, on the electricity, thingy, wiring and cable and all this. But if we can spend like 26,000, 27,000 to this, it's a lifetime. It's costless, but you can make a lot of money out of this one. Like the power, you spend money on power bills and all this. So I prefer that, we can go for this one.
So one of.
Yeah. And it was. The Australians already there. They don't have power anymore. They're using Americans, so they're getting away of all the they're doing on the solar.
It's a really good thing to use for solar farming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of these ones there, and you can supply a whole village, the whole community solar farming.
Yeah.
You put the panels in a massive area, all put together with a bunch of setups.
So in here, if the system goes, there's some error, it will show here in this small screen here. The errors will show here. So like error 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you see the manual, then you know what's the problem. So when you bring it to the service,
You know,
and if it's very hard for you to fix it up. So if you bring it to the service, then you can give that information to the technician, so it's easy for them to find a fault.
Just to give us some heads up in terms of service maintenance, which particular component there would be, like, because when we build a classroom, we give the keys and we walk away. So they'll be the ones, the community will be looking after this thing, So just to give them some caution or some like a warning to also. Is there something after some time people must work in maintenance or service kind of some sort? Any particular feature from this system here, we need to let them know so at least they keep an eye.
The big thing you have to tell them is control their load.
The load.
Yeah, the load. So just tell them this thing only requires this much. So things you are plugged in, you must calculate how much. Because that's the big problem. Some people they don't care, they just plug anything they want. When then this thing gets overloaded, so that's a big problem. So you have to advise them this information.
I think we are supplying 2 kV to each classroom. Is it 2 kV?
2 kVA.
Okay, from classroom.
What of my current secular sogona put in?
Yeah. Please.
Leave the premises. There's no tree or mango tree or like this because if it cover this side, then all of this panel is not going to give power to the so the place will just be clear. So the full sunshine can give the full energy the system requires.
So all one GPU so the lighting the classroom na staff GPU allowing one player as time we end over lo school na imigo the only is on them is support system bagara like now plenty of link up to some this time bagara we don't know what they're plugging into the system you think so at the same time to the staff lo when we play story man it just create some awareness this can create like now George just okay you can only power this and that you cannot power like everything you want to power I think just at least make creative awareness because you have more line of place so you may have more to educate more to the service system now the good system direct make it to view all my installing classroom doing one it's really good but it's just the amount of GPUs you put in a classroom just put one inside the staff room it must have
With cement, just put something on the cement and put the batteries on.
Battery kasi na ground on the cement floor.
Cement,
Training energy, training power.
Yeah, Mr. Bicol Mai is like Mr. Bicol plant contractors maybe good also make him sakay na. Also make him good for one man also store him good battery inside. So I'm good all case it. Mr. Bicol plant Bicol like you guys use initiatives like people give the system so but then like this is a setup I mean look plenty work in classroom. So it's good but it's just the how you may wire him so that's right. Like George told us, suppose people wire him good, the system will last. It will last. The only thing they need to change now is just the batteries. So as much as possible, suppose all the contractors staff share him experience, blah, at least get as much information from George and his team. So when we go on site, we don't face like another problem on site again.
Thank you. I never installed solar, and probably I might need your advice. When I do a house or something, then I might get some of my stuff in place, and we can go for training like 1 week or something, in order for them to know. an issue for us contractors.
One day training by now.
Just training.
It's okay.
Do a training.
After hours too, it's okay. I can. This thing here, like it a shop, I'm not just an ordinary sense person. I go around and do this thing, do my after hours weekend, I do this thing like people do.
Yeah.
So from there I know what's good and what's bad, and the system itself, you can tell.
You can always fly him out.
Yeah,
Steal him, but make sure Brian Bell doesn't know.
After hours, send him to people to talk. After hours.
That defines it.
After hours, but don't working hours.
Yeah.
we'll put him on Modena with this.
Please speak up.
Chief it okay.
Just sebelah time kami just go la sebelah lo remote site. We have to go there, installing all this all something lo solar system lo ya. Sometimes we start go na isim sebelah time lo hard time because sebelah all na supplying lo kind of some brackets or something no come lo in a stage. Sometimes the fail will happen. So how we go through suppose we talk about some bracket no that. And by the how much time you need to match to
Just to wait for the project.
some time we go like some like the people in the side or just have the clean of direct plug-in in the side. This is a kind of some system. So we look in this like yes, how it go travel remote site. The experience lo sila pasok. Sometimes we'll talk no I'm connecting no good now. It's like time so. Just we talk about so once we go through all this system, we must go through all the something much in the right way. Thanks, Josh.
It's like when you come to S4, the electrical to pick up the stuff. If you go there, you must stand there and check with the security and the staff there. So you make sure everything is there. Because all people by going a long way here.
But the supplies coming from our container, we are going through only, but we are not going through the system how we are not coming to the.
Yeah, maybe change it. We need to change that.
I think Josh would
We have to come straight.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You have to come yourself and see what you are getting.
Yeah, and also I think Josh would or Ian they would know. I think we just need to have some sort of a little procurement process for this thing with you guys, so that at least like if you are here now, if you are in charge of that, then you need to have a checklist to make sure that every little item, even to a little screw that goes into the packing before it leaves, you know. So like Salim, you need to make sure to help us, you know, so that we are not stranded up with somewhere in Kabubil or Kingan and better. Hey, please, something you know Salim again. You better know me check him checklist. Never something start checking. So I'm alright. Just to make sure that we
There are some people who are going to this one schedule and we can avoid it and we go. Sometimes we give to our electricals and you follow this schedule.
Yes. So from previous experience, we've learned from previous experience. So we've asked, like the team in Lay. I haven't come to you, but I went to Lay Trade Electrical, and we've asked for list of all the items for one kit.
yes.
So that one will give to the contractors. If you're not there on ground to receive the items, we will pass the list to the contractor and make sure that they go through everything item by item and
Before they
so that
pack it
we're not
into the
missing
box.
anything.
Yeah.
Before,
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, I mean, if you request for a system, if you request for a system, then we decide we get this type of system. So that list there, we used to do it ourselves. So then we send a quotation to Josh, and then later Josh said, here is here, so everything is okay. So we check that whole list there. So invoice. So on the invoice, everything must be there. So you advise your boys, whoever is going to pick up, so he has to check through all the invoice. So if it's like that, then we can photocopy the invoice. And the other one will give, Josh and then we get it, the other one will contractors take it to the site, where you can see everything is there.
And apart from that, like if you were in charge now of this whole system, Brian Bell now, trade electrical, then you need to make sure that, because when these ones, they say, okay, look, we have 13, 14 projects that are coming up, so we need 13, 14 kids. So you'll be flooded with all this, bombarded with all this, and then you will be, okay, this Lego. So you need to be there to actually make sure that everything is in there, even a little scroll that goes inside. So when I come, take it, I'm carrying it. So you need to be that person to do check and balance also. So make sure that something's happening.
In our location, I am the one doing the check. So for Levy, for Nelson, for our first ones, I supplied myself. So everything was okay. Yeah, any problem. Only the last time there's one query, I think that's from Leh, yeah?
That's from Leh.
Yeah, that's from Leh. So if you come to Trade Electrical, then you come and look for me. Don't look for this other guy. I will be there. Yeah. Because sometimes we're not there just for Leh.
Not after hours, working hours.
Yeah. So if I Tuesday I'm not at work, then I'll tell you, I'll come on Wednesday, so you come on Wednesday, and then we'll check.
Because if you come after hours, he'll be doing his charges now.
Listen up, what you have said is very good. All you have to do is you go back and you build a box. Put everything together and then when instead of supply, you just supply. If anything goes wrong with the box, we'll call your man. Stop supply. You know what I mean? That one will help us.
So what? Okay. To not answer, but like to make a comment on that. What George supplies, it's not in that kit. He supplies the solar, so he can't do a box and put everything in it. So when we go outside now, we distribute. So when we do our packing and the containers. So when we go to the containers, this is how much you get. We go through all the list. So some of the items are fouler. It's when we move them into the containers. That's when some items get missing or some get extra. So what they supply us, it's according to their list. So it's not like, okay, this system put together on the box. No, they supply all the batteries on a pallet of batteries, a pallet of solar panels, and then when we go down to pack our materials, pack all our containers, like each of you get each a container. We go through the list, we sit down. That's why it's imperative that everyone's there, and then we go through the list, we check everything. You get this, you get this much. We break it up. But in Katimal wire too, because they give like rolls. They don't just like, okay, 10-meter wire, 10 meter. They don't do that. They give a roll. So that's the onus is on all of us when we pack our containers. We're there on the ground. We measure, cut. That's yours. That's yours. That's how we do it. Yeah.
Like I have experience like I was building a kit house for PNP correspondent. And what they did is all the materials on the building on the other side, and then all the plumbing they build up a box, and it comes from trade. Yeah, that's in Leh. And then the electrical comes from some other living electrical in Leh also. So they all pack everything in a box, and then kit house, and then everything goes in one lot. So we know exactly building, electrical, and plumbing. And then we completed the project. In fact, I built kit house 2 weeks because all the